Someone asked me a question. Yep.
Number 5.
Number 5 states. How does your state feel about the issue of representation in Congress and why? Why are we being caught up on that one? What's wrong?
I don't understand it.
Okay, so they're asking you, how does your colony, the state constitutional convention, want Congress to be represented? Does it want a representation government? Does it want a limited government? Does it want a bicameral, a unicameral government? Does it, want a parliamentary? Does you want it to be based on population? Do you want it to be based on taxes? How much each colony is paying into the government? That is what it's asking. How do you want Congress to represent your colony as well as the other 13 colonies when we create the Constitution? Does that clear that up for that one? Okay, what's another question we're having difficulty on? Number 9 states, what type of commerce are in favor of? How does this help your state? Make your case at the convention. First of all, what does commerce mean? When I'm talking like this, what does commerce mean? Go ahead, Dylan.
Any form of trade.
Any form of trade. Now, what does he mean by any form of trade? Trading is what? Imports, exports of anything. Could be within our own country, with other nations. What I'm asking on this question, when we debate this tomorrow, I want you to be able to present your colony's proposal to commerce trading law. So it could be tariffs, it could be imports, exports. It could be, if I'm Pennsylvania and I have a lot of agriculture and I have cattle and beef, I want the Constitution to state I want high tariffs on imports of cattle coming in. Why would I want that? Someone know? Why would I want some other foreign nations cattle that they're selling towards us that are coming in high tariffs? No one buys them. Who are they going to buy? They're going to buy Pennsylvania's cattle because it's cheaper. That is one reason, one argument Pennsylvania can make a case for tomorrow in the debate, saying, well, I'm going to draw up a plan that's going to have high tariffs on things coming in that I sell. That way the price doesn't go up in mine and they buy mine since it's cheaper. What's another question that we're getting caught up on? Yep. 7. What are the most important issues that you want to bring up at the convention? What are your most important issues? Since you're a delegate of South Carolina, right? What would the delegates of South Carolina like to bring to the table and argue about? Because remember, tomorrow we're debating it, and Wednesday we're going to create our own constitution from the arguments and sign our own constitution. Taxes. What about taxes? These are your issues you got to bring to the table, not to me. Remember, I'm Rhode Island. I boycotted, right? So I'm just going to sit there and listen and take notes for you guys. Anyone else have issues they would like to bring to the convention? These are things you need to think about. Number 8, I know I've got a couple questions on. What type of government are you in favor of and why? Do you want a republic? Do you want a representative? Do you want a limited, parliamentary, unicameral, bicameral? If you haven't noticed yet, these questions 1 through 9 go kind of in order, and they're eventually going to be crammed into one big paragraph or 2 paragraphs of your monologue that you state tomorrow before we get into the debate. What's going to happen is that these 12 colonies are going to give their 2-minute monologue. You're going to hear what Pennsylvania has to say, New Jersey, North Carolina, Delaware, Maryland, Massachusetts. And once they're done, you may hear a thing that New Jersey says, and you say, I don't really agree with it. If I'm New Hampshire, I may not agree with it. I'm going to argue why I don't agree with it. You're going to have your chance for a rebuttal. When that's done, other people can jump in about issues. If I'm Massachusetts, I want the what plan? Virginia or New Jersey plan? If I'm Massachusetts, Virginia plan. Why would I want the Virginia plan? Jasmine? Jasmine? Gerald?
We're a bigger state.
It's a bigger state. What does the Virginia plan take into account? Who's the favorite? Larger states. So if I'm Connecticut, I want the New Jersey plan. What does that call for? Smaller states. And what kind of government does it call for? Unicameral, right? Because they want everyone to be equal. Since they're smaller, they can't compete with the likes of Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, South Carolina, New York. They can't compete with them. So they want everyone to be equal. That way they have the same amount of powers. Now the Virginia plan called for what? The highest population, right? The smaller states wanted unicameral so everyone was equal. The bigger states wanted 2 branches, one based on population, one based on money. That way they have more power. That make sense? Yes, no, maybe so? Alright. Any questions for tomorrow's debate? Did I clear it all up? Alright. You got the rest of this hour to figure out how you're going to put your monologue together and talk to each one of your delegates in your group so they know when you're done arguing, they can throw a couple tidbits in. Because you're not just getting 1 grade per group. It's individually getting graded on how you talk and how much you present and what facts you argue. Did you do research? Because you'll be able to tell tomorrow in the debate, did you do the research? Because you won't have anything to argue if you really didn't. That make sense? Yep. Yeah, sure. All right, any other questions, come ask me.